It's 9 in the morning, and you're standing at your bathroom sink, carefully applying sunscreen to your face like you do every single day without fail. You've been religious about SPF for years, because every dermatologist, every beauty influencer, told you it's the single most important anti-aging step you can take. You never leave the house without applying it. First, you reapply every 2 hours religiously, and you've built your entire skincare routine around this one non-negotiable step. You trust this bottle completely because the science is clear, or so you thought. But here's what nobody told you about that sunscreen bottle you trust with your face every single morning. There's research that completely contradicts everything you've been told about chemical sunscreen and skin protection. The chemical filters in most sunscreens are creating free radicals in your skin the exact same damage they're supposed to prevent. These molecules undergo chemical reactions that generate harmful compounds every time you step into sunlight. And I'm about to show you the research that the industry spent millions trying to keep quiet. The studies exist, they're published in peer-reviewed journals, but they've been buried under layers of marketing messages and industry-funded counter-research. What dermatologists actually use on their own skin is completely different from what they recommend to patients. In 2019, the FDA published a study that sent shockwaves through the dermatology community, but mainstream media never picked it up. They tested chemical sunscreen ingredients, oxybenzone, avobenzone, octinoxate, and octocrylene on human subjects for just 4 days. Within hours, these chemicals were detectable in bloodstreams at concentrations 70 times higher than the FDA's own safety threshold. The chemicals didn't just sit on skin surface, they penetrated through all layers, entered the bloodstream, and circulated throughout the entire body. But the blood absorption wasn't even the most disturbing part of the study. That revelation came when researchers looked at what these chemicals do once they're inside your skin cells. When chemical filters absorb UV light, they don't just block it. They convert that energy into heat released directly into surrounding skin tissue. This isn't gentle warmth. It's localized thermal energy, hot enough to denature proteins and damage cellular structures. The heat triggers inflammatory responses throughout the dermis, breaks down collagen, elastin, and hyaluronic acid, and creates oxidative stress. So, the 3 main causes of premature skin aging are all being triggered by your anti-aging product. So the product you apply religiously every morning is literally aging you faster from the inside while you think you're protected. Every time you smooth on chemical sunscreen and step into sunlight, you're creating the exact cellular damage you're trying to avoid. But here's where it gets interesting, and this is the part that changes everything you thought you knew about sun protection. The human body isn't as helpless against UV radiation as the sunscreen industry wants you to believe. Researchers at Stanford discovered that human skin has been protecting itself from UV damage for hundreds of thousands of years through sophisticated biological responses. Your skin produces melanin that absorbs UV photons and dissipates energy safely as harmless heat distributed across your entire body. It generates glutathione and catalase, powerful antioxidants that neutralize free radicals in real time, preventing oxidative damage before it accumulates. These systems work together, creating layered protection that responds dynamically to UV exposure. The problem is chemical sunscreens block this entire natural protection system from activating in the first place. When you apply chemical sunscreen, your skin never receives the UV signal that triggers melanin production, antioxidant generation, and barrier reinforcement. Your defenses stay dormant while the chemical creates inflammation and heat damage. Your natural healing mechanisms atrophy when you never let them work. This is basic biology. Just like wearing a cast on a healthy limb causes the muscle to weaken and waste away. When you block all UV with chemical sunscreen every day, your skin's natural defense systems stop functioning at full capacity, creating dependency on external products. This is why dermatology studies keep finding that people who use chemical sunscreen daily have higher rates of visible skin damage than people with moderate unprotected sun exposure. The data shows up again and again in different populations, but it's explained away as confounding variables to avoid confronting the obvious conclusion. Now let me show you what actually happens at the cellular level when you apply chemical sunscreen. The mechanism is straightforward, but it's been deliberately obscured by technical jargon and marketing language. Chemical filters sit in your upper skin layers, absorbing into the epidermis and dermis, waiting to react with UV light. They're not sitting on your skin like a shield, they're in your skin, embedded in living tissue. When sunlight penetrates and hits these molecules, they absorb the UV photons and release that energy as heat directly where your cells are. That localized heat denatures proteins, causing them to unfold and lose function. It damages cell membranes, making them leaky and vulnerable. And it triggers inflammatory cytokines, activating your immune system's inflammatory response throughout the dermis. This is the exact same cascade that happens during sunburn, except there's no redness, no pain, no warning, just silent cellular damage accumulating day after day. University of California researchers found that after just 30 days of daily chemical sunscreen use, participants showed significant increases in oxidative stress markers. These biomarkers are what doctors use to measure aging and cellular breakdown. After 1 month of protection, participants had more cellular damage, not less, compared to baseline. And it gets worse, because here's the evolutionary part. This isn't just about sunscreen being harmful, it's about understanding what your skin actually needs to stay healthy and resilient. For 200,000 years, human skin evolved sophisticated systems for handling UV naturally. Your melanocytes respond to UV by producing melanin. Your keratinocytes thicken the outer barrier, creating a physical shield. Your fibroblasts ramp up antioxidant enzymes targeting free radicals in real time. These three systems work in coordination, creating layered protection designed by evolution to work without causing damage. But when you block UV with chemicals, none of these protective systems activate because your skin never receives the environmental signal it needs. You're replacing a sophisticated, evolved protection system with a crude, harmful substitute that interferes with your body's intelligence. This is why populations with high sun exposure but no sunscreen use often have better skin quality than Western populations that avoid sun entirely. Their skin shows fewer fine lines, better elasticity, and healthier cellular function despite decades of unprotected exposure. The protective factor is daily low-level UV that keeps natural defenses active. Now here's the paradox that dermatologists discovered, but most won't talk about publicly because it contradicts decades of recommendations. Mineral sunscreens with zinc oxide and titanium dioxide physically reflect UV light instead of absorbing it. They sit on skin surface, acting like mirrors that bounce photons back. Because they're reflecting, not absorbing, there's no heat generation, no inflammation, no cellular damage. From a safety standpoint, they're vastly superior, but they still have a problem. Even mineral sunscreens block your skin's vitamin D production, which cells need for DNA repair, immune function, and cellular regeneration. Without adequate vitamin D, your skin's repair mechanisms slow down, cellular turnover decreases, and damage accumulates faster than it can be fixed. So you're stuck between chemical sunscreens that actively age you through heat and inflammation, and mineral sunscreens that deprive cells of critical repair nutrients. Neither option is ideal, and the industry doesn't talk about these trade-offs openly. The solution that research actually supports is strategic short sun exposure without any protection. 15 to 20 minutes of direct sun on bare skin 3 times per week gives you vitamin D synthesis and triggers melanin adaptation. This builds real long-term protection that doesn't require daily chemical application. This trains your skin to protect itself naturally through gradual, controlled exposure. Your melanocytes learn to respond quickly. Your antioxidant systems stay active, and your barrier maintains strength. It's genuine fitness through exercise, not dependency on a pill. But here's the critical warning: extended unprotected exposure absolutely will cause damage faster than skin can repair. This approach works for strategic short exposure, not hours at the beach. 15 minutes builds protection, 6 hours creates damage. You need to understand your limits. For long outdoor periods when you'll be in direct sun for hours, you still need protection. Choose zinc oxide mineral formulas and apply them sparingly to areas getting intense exposure, not your entire body for a short walk. The real answer is teaching your skin to protect itself naturally through controlled exposure. Building resilience through regular low-level UV that keeps melanin active, antioxidants engaged, and vitamin D functioning. Avoiding extremes, finding the middle path that works with your biology. Remember that woman at the bathroom sink this morning, carefully applying her chemical sunscreen, thinking she was doing the most important thing for her skin's health. She just learned that the product she trusted completely was creating the exact cellular damage it promised to prevent. Silent inflammation every day, breaking down collagen, generating free radicals, accelerating aging. She was desperately trying to stop. She doesn't need chemical sunscreens that age her skin from the inside while pretending to protect it. She needs 15 minutes of strategic sunshine and her body's ancient intelligence that knows exactly how to handle UV naturally. And now, you know exactly what she knows. You can't unknow this information. You can't go back to blind trust. You'll never look at that sunscreen bottle the same way again. If this video just changed how you think about sun protection, hit subscribe, because next week we're exposing why your expensive face cream is making your skin drier. Next video reveals the moisturizer industry's secret, the ingredient in 90% of face creams that destroys your natural moisture barrier, so you have to keep buying more. See you there.